Hello there, boys and girls of grade 5, and welcome to another English language lesson. Today, however, we will be focusing on things vocabulary. Our topic for today is one that you're very familiar with, similes. So, boys and girls, might I remind you, what is a simile? A simile is a figure of speech. But what are figures of speech? A figure of speech is a statement that has a hidden rather than a literal meaning. Other figures of speech might include metaphors, personification, and onomatopoeia. However, for today, we will be zooming in on similes. A simile, boys and girls, is a comparison between two unlike things that may, however, be alike or similar in some respect or way. It is therefore a comparison of one thing to another of a different kind. Similes compare these things with the use of the words like and as. So when we want to identify similes, we need to look for either of two words, like or as. These figures of speech help to make writing more interesting and colorful. They are used as descriptive language and helps the reader with imagery. The purpose of a simile is to help describe one thing by comparing it to another thing. That is, as we said earlier, perhaps unrelated or different. For example, if one uses the similes, life is like a box of chocolates. Here, boys and girls, we are comparing two dissimilar things. We're comparing life and chocolate. And we know that it's a simile because it is introduced by the word like. However, the intention here is to show how unpredictable life is, in much the same way as picking a random chocolate from a box and not knowing what flavor you have until you bite into it. Or, in the simile, he ran as fast as lightning. The writer isn't suggesting that the subject is actually fast as lightning, but is using the simile to make the comparison and craft a compelling description. So let's look at some examples of similes in sentences. He is as fit as a fiddle. The simile in this sentence is as fit as a fiddle. Further, her hands are as cold as ice. Here, the female's hands is being compared to that of ice, and we see the introduction of that comparison by the use of the word as. Additionally, the knife is as sharp as a razor. Knife here is being compared to a razor, and we see the simile being introduced by the word as. She hung her head like a dying flower. Here, the hanging of the female's head is compared to that of a dying flower. Not necessarily that she is a flower, but maybe implying that she's ashamed. They fought like cat and dog. In this example, the person's relation by using the pronoun they is compared to that of relations with the animals cat and dog. And lastly, The pupils were chatting like monkeys. Here, the constant chattering of the children is being compared to that of the animal monkeys. Boys and girls, let's look at some other common similes. We have as agile as a monkey, as bitter as gall, as clean as a new pin, or as clean as a whistle, as dead as a doornail, and as deaf as a doorpost, as flat as a pancake, as fresh as a daisy, as good as gold, as old as the hills or Methuselah, as patient as Job. Other common similes include as poor as a church mouse, as regular as a clock or clockwork, as safe as houses, as slippery as an eel, as silent as the grave or tomb, as sober as a judge, as sound as a drum, as stubborn as a donkey or mule, as thick as thieves, and we are striving to be as wise as an owl or Solomon. So boys and girls, I'm sure within that list you are familiar with many of those similes. So let's get into an exercise. Here, we're being asked what simile is connected to each of the pictures. Let's take a look at each picture and derive the suitable simile associated with it. The first picture here is that of a peacock. What simile is associated with this animal? Definitely, boys and girls. The simile is as proud as a peacock. Let's look at this picture. Here we can see a bat. What simile is associated with this animal? Yes, the simile here would be as blind as a bat. If you have that, you are well on your way to understanding similes. Let's look at this picture. It's a barrel. The simile that goes with barrel is as round as a barrel. Let's move on. Take a look at this picture. It is that of a feather. Definitely, boys and girls, I'm sure you have written as light as a feather. This picture exemplifies an arrow. What simile is associated with this picture? If you have written as straight as an arrow, you are correct. Here we have a dog. Do you know the simile that is associated with this animal? Yes, we say as sick as a dog. Here, boys and girls, we have vinegar. What simile is associated with this picture? Yes, The simile is as sour as vinegar. And lastly, we have the picture of a cucumber. Do you know what simile is associated with this vegetable? Definitely, as cool as a cucumber. So boys and girls, I'm sure you're getting the hang of similes. So let's move on to another exercise. Here, we will complete each simile sentence with words from the box. The words in the box are baby, monkeys, angel, whistle, lion, and dogs. Our first sentence is, the girl is as brave as a. Which word is suitable for this simile? I'm sure you have, the girl is as brave as a lion, since as brave as a lion is the correct simile. Number 2, the siblings fought like cats and. What might you put in there to complete that simile? If you inserted the word dogs, then you are correct. So, your sentence should read, the siblings fought like cats and dogs. Number 3, the comedian is as funny as a barrel of. Which word is most suitable? I'm sure you have monkeys. And so your sentence would read, the comedian is as funny as a barrel of monkeys. Next, my aunt sings like an. Definitely. Your sentence should read, my aunt sings like an angel. Here we are comparing the aunt to an angel. My house is as clean as a. Which word is most suitable for this sentence? If you chose whistle, then you are correct. And so, the sentence should read, my house is as clean as a whistle. Further, last night I slept like a. Insert the most suitable word here. I'm sure you chose the word baby. And so, the sentence would read, last night I slept like a baby. So boys and girls, that was our refreshers for this vocabulary topic. But before you go, let me remind you, similes are comparisons between two dissimilar things that are introduced by the words like or as. Be sure to check your new Junior English Revise at pages 180 to 182 for additional examples and exercises on similes. So boys and girls of grade 5, comparisons are as common in the English language as they are in writing. One of the simplest and most effective comparisons to make when writing is by using a simile. Similes are a great way to make writing more exciting and memorable without losing clarity. Using similes usually leads to interesting comparisons, which are often more successful at conveying complex emotions, capturing a reader's attention, or painting a memorable picture. A simile can create a vivid image in the reader's mind, helping to engage and absorb them. So, boys and girls, I would love for you to make use of similes in your speech and writing, especially when writing your compositions. Remember, pupils, a man with a scant vocabulary will almost certainly be a weak thinker. So continue to be diligent in all you do. It is at this time that I'll say au revoir, which means goodbye in French.